This is your news source evening bulletin for today, Monday, the 4th day of January in the year 2021. I'm Gordon Mosley. Here's what we're tracking tonight. 2 elderly men have become the first COVID-19 recorded deaths for the new year in Guyana. According to the Ministry of Health, the 2 men passed away while being patients of a medical institution. One of the men was 85 years old and a resident of Region 10, while the other was 70 years old and hailed from Region 6. While the 2 deaths are the first recorded for this year, the death toll from the coronavirus in Guyana now stands at 166. A total of 13 deaths and more than 1,000 new cases were recorded back in December. Meanwhile, the Ministry of Health has recorded 21 new cases as of midnight Sunday. There are 4 persons in the coronavirus intensive care unit, and the total number of active cases now stand at 273. More than 400 persons made full recoveries in the past month. Health officials continue to warn against large gatherings and are encouraging citizens to wear face masks once they leave their homes.
We are anticipating spikes because over the Christmas holiday we have seen a lot of people socializing, not adhering to the COVID-19 guidelines. And that was unfortunate. So we are going to expect that a lot of people might have been exposed, and therefore a large percentage of them would come to the health system. So testing is one aspect to determine whether or not they're positive, but we also have to ready the hospitals itself to ensure that persons who require hospitalization, that we are able to hospitalize these patients.
Guyana has recorded more than 6,000 coronavirus cases since last March. There have been over 5,900 recoveries. More news coming up in a moment.
People we have
weathered every storm
and risen to every challenge.
Because it is the people of Guyana
that gives it its strength.
All the people,
regardless of race,
class, or religion.
We are one people, one strength.
And now is our time. A time to rise. Together, we rise.
Elite Fragrances and Tradings is your destination for the most luxurious deodorant, perfume, cologne, body spray, sunglasses, wallet, belt, spas, men hair products, and much more. Elite Fragrances and Tradings, 123 Regent Road border between Ornock Street and Shiv Chandapal Drive. You can contact us on 619-5151 or 227-1255. The perfect fragrance is the ultimate accessory.
I wanna be a Super 95 millionaire.
You can be a Super 95 millionaire this Christmas when you purchase $3,000 or more Super 95 fuel from Guyana service stations. Enter to win one of 2 first prizes of $1 million plus weekly cash prizes up to $500,000. That's not all. Each week until January 15, 2021, you can also have a chance to win smart TVs, tablets, shopping vouchers, and so much more. So hurry down to the nearest Guyana service station and spend $3,000 or more on Super 95 fuel, and you can be a Super 95 millionaire. Press for more details.
Mom, what are you doing with GPL on your list?
Child, you forgot I have to pay GPL?
You got time with GPL?
I have to keep these lights on. The customers who think in that manner and refuse to honor their obligation to GPL are obviously not playing their part in ensuring quality service delivery. So, I will continue to pay my GPL bill on time, every time.
I recognize the value of your point, Mom. You were right.
Finance Secretary Sukrishna Lal Pasha has clarified to various government agencies and government corporations that once their workers would have benefited from a salary increase or bonus during 2020, they will not be eligible for the recently announced government one-off 25,000 public servants grant. In a circular to CEOs, general managers, managing directors, and chairpersons of government agencies and corporations, Mr. Pasha also explained that in terms of those corporations that might be eligible, the payments must be self-financed. Some government departments have already started to facilitate the payments, while some workers were told today that they might not be benefiting from the payoff. President Irfan Ali announced the one-off payment during a statement last Thursday, indicating that all public servants would be benefiting. The government's holding company NISIL has fired more than 60 workers just as they were making moves to become unionized. Many of the workers were employed at the company at the Wills Estate as security guards and laborers. The terminations took effect from the 31st of December. In a statement today, the Guyana Agricultural and General Workers Union, GAWU, said it has been left dumbfounded by the move, which it has described as a sudden bombshell that caught the workers by surprise. GAWU said it was approached by the workers last year, who wanted the union to be recognized as their bargaining agent. GAWU started to make moves in that direction by filing its application in November with the Trade Union Recognition and Certification Board. In keeping with recognition practices, the union said the Trade Union Board attempted to conduct a survey seeking to determine whether the union really had the support of the workers. According to GAWU, the survey was stymied by NISIL, which failed to turn up at meetings with the Trade Union Recognition Board on 2 occasions. The union said NISIL eventually indicated that it was ready to begin the process on the 31st of December. And that turned out to be the same day that more than 60 workers were fired. The union noted that the actions of NISIL brings back painful memories for the union, which faced similar challenges as it confronted the plutocracy in seeking recognition on behalf of the field and factory workers in the sugar industry. The union said it is unbelievable that for them in the 21st century, workers are still facing such problems to secure union recognition. GAWU said the actions of NISIL is deeply disturbing, since many of the workers depended on the jobs following the closure of the estate back in 2016. The union said the move by NISIL is also undermining the government's efforts to revitalize the sugar industry in the country and reopen some of the closed estates. The Auditor General of Guyana has recommended that the Guyana Police Force probes the hiring of a number of high-powered attorneys by the Attorney General's chambers for various cases that involve the state under the previous government. In an audit report which was released by the Attorney General Anand, the Auditor General found that in many instances the contracts were entered into with the attorneys, but the posts were not publicly advertised, citing that there should have been full compliance with the Procurement Act. Many of the cases involve foreign attorneys hired in various cases, which named the Attorney General's chambers as a respondent. Some of the cases date back to the no confidence case and other political cases, while others dealt with various cases filed against the state. Over $170 million was spent on the services of the attorneys. The audit report called for the police to be called in to conduct an in-depth investigation and institute charges where necessary. The Auditor General said disciplinary action should also be taken against those culpable of breaching the Procurement Act, and the ministry must ensure that there is full compliance with the Procurement Act with respect to the awarding of contracts. The Caribbean Examinations Council announced today that it is still in the process of reviewing and finalizing some grades for the CSEC and CAPE exams written last year. In a statement, the Council noted that throughout the review process, it endeavored to be thorough and to comply with its quality assurance processes. 80% of the requests for reviews have been completed, the Council noted. The body stated that on the 31st of December, final results were shared with CXC local registrars, while from today, grades will be released via the online student portal. CXC is currently in dialogue with the Ministries of Education across the region to finalize details for the administration of the regional examinations this year. The details are to be shared with stakeholders and made public in the coming weeks. Guyana has made a number of requests to the regional examination body regarding the exams for this year. While the COVID-19 pandemic has impacted various health agencies, the National Blood Transfusion Service has been functioning well, although it has faced a reduction in blood donations. Director of the blood bank, Dr. Pedro Lewis, explained today that due to the pandemic, there has been a 22% reduction in blood donations, and that has caused the service to shift its management into a new direction.
2020, has been a difficult year for most persons. The blood bank is no exceptional. Anyway, we are very pleased with the turnout that we had despite the pandemic. We had a reduction in from March to about September with voluntary blood donation. But of course, we had a system in place so as to meet our voluntary donors. For example, we had community blood drives. We had improvement in our tele-recruitment department where we call blood donors to come in and donate, and we explained to them the system that we had in place. So persons felt comfortable and still feeling comfortable to come into the National Blood Transfusion Service.
Dr. Lewis said in face of the challenges caused by COVID-19, the blood bank has expanded its reach into various communities in search of new donors. It has also kept in regular contact with those regular donors. He said the suspension of some non-emergency surgeries eased the strain on the blood transfusion service. But with the new year and the public hospitals restarting many of the surgeries that were put on hold, the blood bank will be seeking to attract new donors.
No, we basically practice voluntary blood donation, like I said, because it is the safest means of blood donation is voluntary blood donation. And it allows you to always have blood in the blood bank, right? Always have blood. Yeah, there's the other countries that practice what we might call paid blood donation, but they still appeal every day for blood donation. And I could tell you, even during the COVID-19 pandemic, you will see on the ABC Good Morning Show and so on, you will see that United States still appeal to persons to come and donate blood donation.
The Guyana Blood Bank is using January as the month to push for more blood donations. A West Coast Demerara businessman and his wife were arrested on Sunday following the discovery of more than 9 pounds of marijuana at their home. Working on a tip-off, the police carried out a search at the Crane, West Coast Demerara home of the businessman early on Sunday morning. The large parcels of marijuana were found stashed in a barrel in the bottom flat of the house. In the back of the yard, the police discovered several small marijuana plants that were being cultivated under a fruit tree. According to the police, the businessman claimed ownership of the plants and asked that his family not be involved in the matter. The packaged marijuana and the plants were seized by the police, and the businessman and his wife were arrested. Marijuana possession and trafficking charges are expected to be filed this week.
Due to the impacts of the global pandemic, COVID-19 across our nation, essential organizations like us have chosen to adopt innovative approaches to meet the emerging needs of our customers while protecting our employees. Here are some quick tips to make managing your GPL bill easier while we practice social distancing. To register for electronic billing, you can use the e-billing tab on your website. To access your bill balance, you can use 4 options: the website live chat at gpl.net, the online inquiry on our website under billing, SMS Freedom by texting your GPL reference number to 624-0400 or 608-8400, or call our call center at 226-2600. A message from the Guyana Power and Light Incorporated.
We are legions of men standing strong, but never too proud to stoop and help someone. We must send a clear signal to all: do right, walk in upright ways, knowing that's what being a man is all about, and ever aware that things will only get worse when good men do nothing. Stand strong, be the one to live right.
Been through it all.
But as a people we have
Weathered every storm.
And risen to every challenge.
Because it is the people of Guyana
that gives it its strength.
all the people,
regardless of race,
class, or religion.
We are one people, one strength.
And now is our time. A time to rise. Together, we rise.
Across the region right now, with effect from today, travelers to St. Vincent from Barbados will be categorized as arriving from a high-risk country and must be quarantined in an approved hotel for 10 days. The change in the protocol for entry of travelers to St. Vincent and the Grenadines was announced by the National Emergency Management Organization on Saturday night. A change has also been made to the protocol for entry of travelers to St. Vincent and the Grenadines from medium-risk countries, who will now have to spend 5 days in an approved hotel. The change in categorization of Barbados from medium risk to high risk came just hours after the Barbados government announced that over the past 2 days, almost 200 persons tested positive for COVID-19 in the island, and that the public health officials there are investigating at least 3 clusters, one of which is a super spreader event accounting for the majority of new cases. A proposal to award the 2021 Nobel Peace Prize to a contingent of Cuban doctors who specialize in disaster situations and serious epidemics has been endorsed by 4 members of the British Parliament. According to the official site of the Cuban Solidarity Campaign in the UK, the 4 members of the House of Commons highlighted the humanitarian aid provided by Cuba and the Henry Reeve International contingent of doctors. With the 4 formal nominations of the legislators, 16 requests submitted by British parliamentarians are accumulated, to which another 8 were sent by academics from the United Kingdom. Nominations for the Nobel Peace Prize have a deadline of the 31st of January of each year and can only be made by parliamentarians, academics, awardees, judges of international courts, and active or retired members of the committee. And finally tonight, international news. WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange cannot be extradited to the US, a court in London has ruled. The judge blocked the request because of concerns over Mr. Assange's mental health and risk of suicide in the US. The 49-year-old was wanted over the publication of thousands of classified documents back in 2010 and 2011. The US claims the leaks broke the law and endangered lives. Mr. Assange has fought the extradition and says the case is politically motivated. The US authorities have 14 days in which to launch an appeal and are expected to do so. Mr. Assange will now be taken back to the Belmarsh prison, where he is being held, and the full application for his bail will be made on Wednesday. And that's your News Source Evening Bulletin for tonight. I'm Gordon Mosley, reporting.